you're here at this reception. The organization advocates for all kinds of issues on Capitol Hill. Anything that you're here, a message you want to get out as a driver in NASCAR?
Yeah, from my end, Napa is just a big supporter of mine, and I'm really just here to support them. So they do a lot of supporting of me. I feel like the least I could do is come up and support their cause and be here. So I just appreciate them inviting me, and from their side, just supporting them and them trying to make the car world and the car buyer industry and everything else roll a little smoother, and they're a big part of that. So that's about it.
All right. And now, there's a lot of talk about going green. Wanted to ask you about how NASCAR is going green, and if you see all electric possibly in the future for NASCAR.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't make those decisions. So I try to go as fast as I can most of the time in circles, and I don't really. Like I say, I don't really get involved in the decision making above me. So who knows what they have going on in their meetings up there? But I don't hear about it, and I don't really play the rumor mill game. So I just kind of let it go.
There's a lot of talk about the kind of fuel that's being used, and of course hybrid versus all electric. Do you think in NASCAR's future you could actually see hybrid engines or even all electric, or would that change the sport completely?
Yeah, I don't know. I really have no idea. Like I said, I'm not in charge of what goes on. So, whatever road they decide to go down, they're going to go down it, and they're going to do it whether I like it or not. So it really doesn't matter. And I'm sure there's pros and cons to all that stuff, as you look at it, and that's for them to weigh, the good and bad and go from there.
I remember interviewing Dale Earnhardt Jr. In the past when the Chevy Volt was getting popular, and asked him about it.
Still popular.
And it's still popular.
Yeah.
And now we see with Tesla, a lot of people are buying those cars, and he was like, the technology's not there yet. That was back in 2011. But, it's come a long way, but there's still talk of where that's going to fit. And then some people are saying they're going to stop selling gasoline or electric cars in the United States by a certain period, like 2030. So how that affects NASCAR, whether there'll be an exemption or not, we'll have to.
I don't know. I mean, all those things are well above me. And, I think from my end, it's interesting you bring up the Volt. I mean, I know that's been a popular car for Chevrolet. So, the good news is Chevrolet is largely involved with us, and we're largely involved with them, and they've been a good partner. So I don't know what kind of road they're going down. I don't sit in on their meetings either. So I just glad to have them as a supporter wherever it goes, and I can't do anything about it.
And I wanted to ask you too, because we're here in Washington. You were an early supporter of President Trump. Do you still you like the job he's doing? Are you satisfied with the president's job performance?
Well, I mean, 3 years in, so I think that I feel like there's been good things and there's been bad things. So it's interesting to watch, and I think like everybody else, I've enjoyed just following along like I have other presidencies as well, and always enjoy the election time and watching and learning. So yeah, looking forward to seeing how it plays out.
As a young voter yourself, anything you'd like to see him improve on, the president, going forward?
Sure, lots of good and bad. I think that's kind of my personal views and for me to think and vote the way I want to vote. And definitely, but none I'd like to say publicly.
Where will you be heading in terms of your career? Anything that you're working on right now, possibly outside of NASCAR? Anything you wanted to say along those lines?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've been lucky to be where I've been, at a young age, and I think, who knows? I'm happy to be employed right now. I'm supposed to be employed for a couple more years, so hopefully I can do a good job for my team in the time that they like to have me, and if they want to have me back beyond that, would love to be there, but that's kind of up to the bosses and the big boss, and if they'd like to have me back, I'd love to come back, and if not, then I'm sure they have good reason too.